Welcome to Cigars, the Masterclass Seeds. Privada Cigar Club presents. Imagine stepping into the smoky heart of cigar history, where each tobacco seed tells a story woven by time and trials. You have the Connecticut Broadleaf, born thick-skinned and resilient, a leaf that darkens with age, carrying the rich earth and cocoa of New England. From Pennsylvania's unforgiving soil comes the robust broadleaf, bold, brimming with nicotine, while Sumatra and Cameroon, born in distant lands, arrive sweet, spicy, and seductive, each thin leaf laced with flavors of cedar and toasted warmth. Then there's the untamed Corojo, a peppery Cuban original, too wild to resist disease until its hybrid Corojo 99 came along. Crioyo too exudes the soul of Cuba, earthy and nutty, lending itself to Nicaragua's rugged terroir. Together, these seeds embody the alchemy of place, time, and cultivation, a story of survival and mastery told through each draw. In Cigars, the Masterclass Seeds, I wanted to give us an in-depth but topical understanding of the different seed strains that are out there. These are the basics. There are a few more, and there are a lot of hybrids that have happened along the way. In fact, in filming this segment, I was a little taken back because I understand that this hasn't been well documented in certain places. While we have seed numbers that are paired with some of the North American strains of tobacco in the Caribbean 100 years ago, it's kind of anything goes. So while we know what the seeds are or what we call them today, some of the history on this stuff is kind of left in history. And that's why it's important that we do Cigars the Masterclass, so we can get a stamp on a time and place of where we understand what we know now. And so we're going to go over the basic seed strains. I'm going to talk to you about how the seeds are handled, how they're germinated and planted in the soil, and that's going to include everything that we have in Cigars the Masterclass Seeds Edition. So let's talk about the seeds and strains. And we'll put this information on the screen as well. But let's start with the Connecticut Broadleaf. It has a USDA accession number. If you want the number, it'll be on the screen. But the traits of Connecticut Broadleaf are large, thick leaves with high oil content. The flavor profile is rich, earthy, often with cocoa and coffee notes. Notable detail for this broadleaf is it's known for its ability to darken well for Maduro wrappers, and it's resilient to fermentation and age, so it keeps that flavor locked in. Second on our list is the Connecticut Shade, also has a USD accession number. Its thin, elastic leaves are light and have a creamy profile. It's mild and creamy with subtle notes of nuts and cedar. It's grown under a shade cloth to reduce direct sunlight, which produces a lighter, smoother wrapper. Third on the list, we have Pennsylvania Broadleaf, also has a USDA accession number. Its traits are robust, high nicotine leaves with thick texture. The flavor profile is bold, earthy, with a heavier body, and its notable detail is it's known for its intense strength and nicotine content used in fuller body cigars. I didn't know how different that tobacco was from Connecticut Broadleaf. Number 4, Sumatra also has a USDA accession number. Sumatra was extremely popular for a very long time in earlier times and was sold a lot at these auctions that they would have, I believe, in France. It was a big deal, and they're thin and aromatic with unique oils. The flavor profile is sweet, spicy, with hints of cedar and cinnamon. Originally from Indonesia, now mostly grown in Ecuador, it's versatile as a wrapper with balanced flavors, can also be used in fillers. Number 5 is Cameroon. Cameroon also has a USDA accession number, and from what I know, it is the most expensive wrapper leaf in our industry. It is also small. It is hard to make large cigars with Cameroon wrapper, and the traits are its thin, delicate leaves with a natural toothiness. The flavor profile is woody, toasty with a subtle sweetness. It grows best in Cameroon's humid climate, producing a rare, fragile wrapper leaf prized for unique texture. Oftentimes, when you think you're smoking an actual Cameroon wrapper grown in Cameroon, you are not. Not unless you paid $20 or $30 for that cigar. Number 6 is Corojo. Now, Corojo does have a USDA accession number. The traits of Corojo are spicy, thick leaf with complex flavor. The flavor profile is peppery and intense with hints of leather. This is a leaf we're well used to. This is your traditional Cuban style cigar, Habano. Originally developed in Cuba, this strain was prone to disease, leading to hybrids like Corojo 99 for added resistance. So prior to, I think, 94, the tobacco grown in Cuba was different than the tobacco today, although we had a famous grower here, Mr. Hector Luis Prieto Diaz, who told us that he feels like it's as flavorful as it's ever been. We often hear in cigar culture a lot of things aren't what they used to be, but cigars are actually, and this is something that I've confirmed with every single master blender, roller, farmer, everyone that I've sat with says that cigars are the best they've ever been right now. This is the best time. Remember, most cigars were in a cab driver or the super of your building or some, a blue collar guy's mouth. They were 25 cents, 5 cents originally. Really, the price of cigars didn't change from 5 cents until like the 80s, from what I understand. So number 7, we have Crioyo. USDA accession number is available. It's nutty, earthy, with moderate spice, smooth and earthy with subtle sweetness, and it was Cuban-developed strain widely grown in Nicaragua, contributing to a classic Cuban-style cigars. This is in pretty much all of the cigars we're smoking out of Nicaragua. It's either got a Criollo, Corojo, or both. We also have Habano. There is no USDA accession number, and this is what I'm talking about. This is where the lines gray a bit, because there's been so many hybridizations of this. So when you're growing tobacco, I think there are farmers out there that will know this. When you're growing things near each other, you could have Corojo and Criollo growing next to each other. There are sometimes hybridizations just happening naturally and organically, and then what they do with these plants are they're looking for the king plant, right? So they're looking for the plants that grow the best that season, and they're taking the seeds from that in order to keep breeding the best plant they can possibly get. But for Habano, you have a thick leaf with robust flavor and peppery finish. The flavor profiles are typically bold, peppery with leather and cocoa nuts. I often attribute a little bit of cinnamon or baker's spice in there as well. A favorite for its rich, complex flavors, often used as a wrapper for full-body cigars. Most of the cigars you're smoking out of Nicaragua will include an Ecuadorian-grown Habano wrapper. It's either grown by the Oliva family out of West Tampa or the ASP company out of Miami. They have a stronghold on that, and that is the bulk of the wrapper in our industry. I don't know the numbers, but I'm guessing it's at least 50% of most cigars made are carrying wrappers from Ecuador, and they're classified as Habano. The Oliva family used to simply grow a Sumatra wrapper in Ecuador, but this Habano became a real prize crop, and the money is in the wrapper leaf. So that's where their time and energy has been focused, I think, over the last probably 2 decades. Number 9, San Andreas. This does have a USDA accession number. It's been grown in the same place, because if it's not grown there, it's not San Andreas. And I often hear people telling me that they have Mexican San Andreas that wasn't grown in Mexico, and that's just impossible. It's like cognac. It needs to be from a certain region. And we've sat with the family that grows this wrapper leaf, the Tarrant family. We did a documentary at their facility. Incredible family. Shout out to the Tarrant family. The traits are thick, dark leaf with high oil content. This is probably the most popular Maduro wrapper out right now. The flavor profile is earthy and chocolatey with a natural sweetness. It's grown in Mexico's volcanic San Andreas Valley. It's a popular Maduro wrapper for its deep, rich flavor, but the truth is it's just very minerally. It really blends well with Nicaraguan tobacco, which I believe is why it's become just so popular again, because 2 or 3 decades ago, it was looked at as kind of cheap stuff, which today we know it is not. It's an amazing wrapper to blend with. 10th, we have Piloto Kubano, also has a USDA accession number. It's rich and creamy with moderate spice. The flavor profile is earthy with smooth, creamy notes, developed from Cuban seed and grown in the Dominican Republic, often used in fillers for its robust flavor. Piloto Kubano spells sweetness to me. Every time I hear it has Piloto Kubano, I'm looking for that sweetness that I'm going to find that only a Dominican cigar can offer, which is also why this tobacco is used in a lot of other cigars from other places. They love that. It's a great balancer. And then we also have the Olor Dominicano, grown in the Dominican Republic, which is a mild floral leaf. This is where you're going to get your florals and your woods from in a Dominican cigar. And it's native to Dominican Republic and has been used as a binder or fillers for milder cigars. It's also known for its combustion. It can help your cigar burn. Corojo 99 has no USDA accession number. So this is a hybrid that was born out of Cuba and has been really worked on in Nicaragua over the last 20 years. And it's spicy and aromatic with a smooth burn. The flavor profile is spicy and robust, similar to the original Corojo, bred from the original Corojo to resist blue mold, commonly grown in Nicaragua, and maintains a bold Cuban character with added resilience. Lastly, there are varietals in Nicaragua. You'll hear Jalapa, Esteli, Condega, Ometep. So there are no USDA accession numbers for these seeds. Each region offers distinct flavors due to unique soil and climate. Jalapa is sweeter and balanced. Esteli is bold. Condega is earthy. Ometep is mineral rich with earthy, distinct character. Each region's soil's composition brings a unique flavor and strength, with Jalapa and Esteli particularly prized when they can grow high-quality wrappers. You can't just plant a seed and grow quality wrappers. It takes years and years and years to get a farm to be able to grow wrapper leaf, where it's perfect enough to be wrapper leaf. So I think it's also important to talk about not just these seeds, because you're going to hear these or see these advertised on cigar boxes, right? Unfortunately, oftentimes, even the brand doesn't know that some of it's not true, right? So it would be nice if we all knew a little bit more and could tell, an authentic product from a not authentic product, but you really have to be probably in the industry and smoking test blends and blending tobacco all the time to really know that stuff. But I just want to touch upon a couple of things here. So seed hatching. One thing about tobacco seeds is they are absolutely tiny. While they're not microscopic, there are 300,000 tobacco seeds per ounce. So we're talking about a lot of seeds, and they are tiny. I can't, like the tip of a pen, maybe, okay? Controlled germination. Seeds are usually germinated indoors or in greenhouses to protect against temperature fluctuations and pests. It grows best, they hatch or germinate best at around 70 degrees. Some of the farmers use what's called a float bed technique or system, where the seeds trays are placed in water beds and provide consistent moisture. That ensures that the young plants will receive uniform hydration from below, preventing the delicate seeds from dying or rotting. This is a tough part of the process. This is why most people can't just grow tobacco at home. The germination part is very delicate. I've tried it and I was not successful. Storage off season. They store these seeds. So when I'm on AJ's farm, he's got this little building. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it or not. I was definitely not supposed to take pictures of labels, which it goes back to, someone like AJ who cares this much about tobacco. He's not just dropping seeds in the ground. They're looking at that king plant in each crop, and then they're hybridizing it, they're bringing it back and storing it, they're waiting for that next season, and they're stored in these little casitas or buildings, brick buildings, so small, in refrigeration, cool, dark, and dry. Proper seed storage is critical for maintaining viability from season to season. Seeds are typically stored in cool, dark environments with low humidity, about 30 to 40%. Temperature stability is key, often around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Oftentimes, they're kept in airtight containers. Some farmers actually use vacuum sealing. So I think you're getting an idea of what Cigars the Masterclass is. This isn't going to teach you whether this brand has a better cigar than that brand. We're going way deeper than that. We're going to where some of the brand owners don't even completely understand yet. And so this is why it's important to get this stuff out there. And it's important for you to understand this. You don't have to memorize it, but over time, if you watch this series, you'll get a better understanding of what you're smoking, and you will 100% appreciate it more and get more out of the smoking experience. I hope that you have enjoyed Cigars the Masterclass Seeds, and I look forward to seeing you at the next Cigars the Masterclass. Peace. Privada Cigar Club presents